909-353-1050. That number again, 909-353-1050.
Thanks for calling the KCAA Rant Line. For comments, concerns, and complaints, please hold.
The doctor is in. Welcome to the Psychic Love Doctor Show with host Deborah Lee. Deborah has been practicing, teaching, and perfecting the personal prophecy card reading method for 20 plus years. This life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. This inspiring show will help you never feel helpless in life or love ever again. Now, here's your host, Deborah Lee.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday. Gee, I don't know, Lauren, do you think this is one of those TGIF kind of Fridays?
Every Friday needs to be a TGIF.
But this one should be times two after all the rain and the fires and the, oh my gosh, all the things that are going on. And then people are having love problems on top of it all.
Love problems and car problems. That's what I have.
And vagina beer is now in the news. We will get to that a little bit later.
Yes.
So for those of you that are brand new with us tonight, I was dubbed the Psychic Love Doctor by AOL back in 1996. They were scouting out someone with psychic ability who could bring a whole new, we'll call it like a new angle to the whole relationships, life, family problems, you name it. The whole enchilada, you could say. Well, that turned out to be me. The name stuck ever since. I still am known by that name now, so this is why we are called the Psychic Love Doctor Show. The method I use is an ordinary deck of playing cards, which I'm showing now to the video, and also those who are joining us over Facebook Live. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
This method my grandmother called personal prophecy. After her passing, which was about 2 years after she taught me, I did as much research as I could on this particular method. And while there are other methods, and they are excellent methods, this was the only one I could find that I knew of, that we're able to look at your life as we're sitting right now in the present, and we can project ourselves into your future. And if you don't like what you see, we make it better, because choice and change are our most valuable tools for navigating from the present into the future.
Absolutely, Deborah.
And Lauren here is a current student of mine. You might call her a Psychic Love intern.
Hey.
And we have something special for you tonight also. We have some audience members sitting in with us in-house here, where we are going to turn to them for some comments as we do tonight's show. So we hope that you will share your comments with us as well. Please give us a call for a reading at 909-792-5222, and you'll be on the show with us. So, boy, what a week. Tell you.
Absolutely.
I never saw a week take so long to get by in what has to be like forever.
It's been a crazy week. I did, however, get my nails did. So I'm very excited after over a year. So I finally did it. I picked a boring color, but I'm very excited about it. So.
Well, on that high note, and that is a high note.
I think so.
I really think we should go to Stacy from Virginia Beach.
Hello, Stacy. Tell us about why you're calling.
So I'm a regular caller.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I've been seeing a guy for about a month and a half. Recently, he told me that he was gonna think about it, because I am not Christian and he is extremely religious, like church every Sunday, devotionals every evening, praying at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. How long of a break should I give him? Because I honestly feel that he's worth it. He is an amazing man. He's got great morals and values. He's dedicated to his job. He loves life. We get along fabulously together.
So how do you feel, Stacy, about his religious inclinations, we'll say?
Well, so I believe in signs and omens and all that, and I have been actually thinking about going back to church for a few years. And I don't know if this is my calling to go back to church, or if it's because lately I don't live by any churches. Now apparently there's been a church that's been built in the last year, and I hear the call to service every hour on the hour. I live in an apartment building, and we get flyers from various places. Well, I get up and go to work at like 6:30 in the morning. I was the only one with a flyer for a church on my door. Everyone, no one else had one in the entire building.
Now that sounds very like divine intervention to me. I feel is a sign.
So should I also tell him that I am thinking about, or that I went to church last Sunday, I'm going again this Sunday. Should I tell him that I am interested in going to church, or should I just wait for him to come back on his own? Because I know that he will.
Well, I think that you should share this new revelation that you have concerning your spiritual side and wanting to definitely, return to church and all. But my problem is a bit with him, to be such a devout Christian and yet sort of negate you, if you know what I mean, due to his religious beliefs, his practices, etc. Shouldn't he love everybody and be non-judgmental and unconditional and maybe try to lead you to the Lord? And let me turn to the panel here. We've got Jonathan Wesley is joining us. He's very vocal within his community. We also have Veronica on one side, and we have Josh behind the camera tonight. I have a feeling, Stacy, they're going to have a little something to say to you about this.
So, is it okay if I go ahead then?
Please.
Yes.
Hi, Stacy. How are you?
Hold on. So him and I discussed this before, because he said that if I ever felt interested to go to church, to let him know.
Okay.
And I shut that down almost immediately. I was like, absolutely not, because of what had happened when I went to a Baptist church. So I feel like I already shut that option down. So where he's like, well, if she's ready and she wants to go, she'll tell me.
Well, I think this is definitely a discussion you should have with him. I definitely see in your cards that he is wanting to resume a relationship with you. Partly I'm perceiving that he feels guilty for the way that he's treated you, that he sort of shut you out in a rather, uncaring type of way, and he'd like to make good on that. And he is perceived to be your future husband. I want you to know. You scared the bejesus out of him, to tell you the truth, where it was easier to walk away and use religion. Yeah, as an excuse. What you guys, the panel is nodding.
I agree. I think that, I don't know, I think in a way it is up to him to come to you. I think that if going to church is something that you're interested in doing, I think you should pursue that on your own. Now, if he does talk to you and call you and you guys are having a regular conversation, I think you should definitely bring it up. But I don't think that you should reach out to him and tell him, because he might see that as you kind of like, being like, hey, I'm going to church now. That's how I
like it would
think.
be less than genuine, and I agree with her. But I do feel that he's coming around. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Stacy. I can hear you trying to speak.
Did you say that he has the potential to be my future husband?
I do feel that, yes. Strong potential here for that. Yeah. It's in his mind, but I have to tell you, you scare him with the amount of feelings that he has for you, and he took this as what would we call this, kind of like a scapegoating technique? That's what I'm thinking, is he ran away, and now he's realizing that was rather cowardly, and he'd like to fix that. So I think a lot of times we try to rush to fix something, or to, like resolve an issue, when I think it's best to let the other person come to us, like you said.
Yeah, I think anything like this, I think men generally, they typically come back around again, whether or not that's 1 year or 10 years or however long, you know, he's going to reach out to you. And I think sometimes people get panicked and are like, oh no, he's not talking to me in the next month. I think the choice is ultimately yours, whether or not you want to wait for him to, you know, realize that or not is up to you. Right?
So
Right, I agree. I agree.
Say about when he would reach out.
I think by September. I'm seeing September as being a golden ticket time for you in your cards. So in the meantime, let him marinate. There's nothing wrong with that. And in the meantime, explore your new desire to go to church. And I know we have a few very forward-thinking, what would you call them, different denominations here.
Right.
That it's not all old school. A lot of it is very... progressive on the cutting edge. I mean, they're starting to recognize different philosophies. Some of them actually feel that psychic ability is a blessing and a gift from the big guy upstairs. So
prophecy was originally in the Bible.
Exactly.
But as far as that goes, I don't think you should lose any pieces of yourself, you know, wherever you decide to go to church. And I think you should, you know, take all of your experiences, because religion is intensely personal, so it's what you make out of it. So I'm excited for you.
I am too, and I really think he's going to be impressed that you didn't do this as a front page story for this relationship. You did this for yourself. And you could even thank him and say, I appreciate you for having brought this to the surface for me, where I'm finding this flyer on my door, where I'm seeing all these different signs that were pointing toward a return to a religious, I don't know what to call it, more of a...
a call to be more religious.
Because there is a difference between religion and spirituality.
Right.
But I think the two are trying to find a bridge between them. So, yeah. Well, Stacy, I hope this helps. I really feel there's a future here for the two of you.
I do too.
I do. Now let's hold that faith. Faith, okay?
Yeah, we will.
A lot of Christians, and I hope we don't offend anybody, but oh well if we do. A lot of Christians like to make an appearance on Sunday. They want to look good at the parish events.
Right.
But how really faithful, how unforgiving or forgiving, how unconditional are they as they walk their walk?
They're just people, just like all of us. Every single person, you know. We all do good things and bad things. And
now, Jonathan, you've told me that you've, in your background with going to church, that a lot of women are doing a hat contest.
Oh, yeah. Well, in my background here, I will always consider myself to be a Christian man. I walk in the faith of God in all ways. But what I've seen is a lot of people will stand in a church, just like a person will try to stand in a car in the garage and call themselves a Cadillac. It doesn't make you any more of a Christian to do the same in a church. I've also seen there that people are there just to gossip about what's going on in the neighborhood. And I think that's what helps turn a lot of people away from the church in itself, and that they go, oh, I'm not here for that. I know, and so they're not actually hearing what the Word of God is. I think with the last caller they called in here, when that flyer showed up on her door alone, that's God reaching out to you saying, come back to me.
Yeah.
For you're a part of my flock, you know? Yeah, that's just how I view it.
And all these other philosophies and methodologies that you have studied, she can bring forward too, because I don't think she has anything to be ashamed of.
Not at all.
You know, I bet in your history, Stacy, there's a lot there to be proud of.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
We love you, Stacy.
We do.
Yeah. Thanks so much. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. You be in touch and keep us posted, all right?
Always. All right, bye-bye.
All right, take care. That was a good call. I'm glad that we're getting all sorts of different issues and situations that come up.
I think, and if you want to call and you just tuned in, please give us a call at 909-792-5222.
You don't have to use your real name. It will not affect your reading. If you don't, I mean, if you are Brad Pitt or George Clooney, you can go ahead and call yourself Billy John or whatever you want. We won't mind, and we won't tell anybody who you really are.
That's right.
All right,
if you're
Josh.
Zac Efron, you can just
He's
call me.
behind the technology here, and I think he's got some stuff for us.
Yeah, we have Sienna with us, and she'd like to know if there's a move in her future, and consequently, if someone will come into her life and stay there.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're going to take a look at your cards now. Normally, if we have a big list of callers, they will, of course, take priority. But we're now picking one off the chat area from these Facebook Lives. All right. So I'll hand the baton to you, Lauren, while I lay out her cards.
Well, as far as a move, I don't know. We have to look for your card insights. But I do find it interesting, a lot of the calls that we have, I'm wondering how much you think when, problems arise, when men kind of, make mistakes or they kind of steer away from people. I kind of, my natural inclination is just to be like, say dump him and move on. And I don't know. What do you think? Is there really potential for people? I mean, I'm assuming you think that this person is a potential husband.
You mean for
her.
Stacy? Yes.
For Stacy, yes. But I mean, is it so for people like me, where if there's like some sort of issue or mistake, and we just kind of go like, well, forget it and move on. Is that like a deficit of mine, like that I like?
No,
not
at
forgiving?
all. But I think it means that the energy just wasn't there for that to be a lasting relationship.
But my energy's terrible for everyone. I just have terrible energy, Joshua, or whoever's back there.
People, if you really feel that connection with somebody, then you're not going to feel that way, and you're not going to let that happen where it's, we'll just walk away, whatever.
But I do that. I do that with everyone. I do. I'm like, well, forget this, and then I move on. And then I just keep, it's like I'm running like a marathon with like everyone around me. And then like, as people are terrible, I just let them go run their marathon elsewhere. But I don't think I'm forgiving, but I'm not going to have like a group of crappy marathon runners with me bringing down my team.
But I think do you have something to say, Veronica?
She is anti-controversial. She does not like to create waves in relationships. And confrontational, I would say that's not you.
I will call people out on the crap, and then, but you're saying I'm not confrontational because I don't accept. But why? If you went to a store and they had like crappy produce, then would you go back again? Am I allowed to say that?
I think you are, but
okay,
you know
I'm
what
sorry.
I think
Are you going to go to the manager and demand non-bruised fruit? No.
No, I'm going to go to a store that's got fantastic melons.
But if you like the price of their milk, you're not going to go elsewhere.
Well, I have to say, after 30-some years of helping others with their love lives, you don't always get the perfect partner starting out.
I'm checking out the meat elsewhere.
All right, well, if we're going to talk meat, we'll stop talking vegetables. Here's the thing. If you can work your way through a conflict or some sort of it's intense difficulty that has had you both start pulling apart instead of pulling together, then I think you both can become better people for a restart. Like hit the reset button.
I'm just waiting for Zac Efron. That's all I'm doing.
Well, and I don't blame you for that. But I think a lot of it we have to think about is our histories. How much pain have partners brought us? How abused have we been? There's a lot of wounded people walking around. And that is going to be baggage that they bring into other relationships. And as for you, Lauren, I think you've had running shoes on due to your early experiences, which were definitely very painful for you.
I don't know. I just think that I don't know. I think I'm fantastic. And, that's all there is to it. So I don't think I'm like embittered or anything. Like, I think I just moved on.
No, I just think that you still have some scars. Okay, now let's get back to our client who probably thinks we drifted way, way off to the left here.
We didn't even talk about the beer.
I do feel there is a move coming up, but there is a tremendous amount of nebulous matter around her in her cards. I feel like you need to start to put goals in front of you. Set your focus. Decide what you want. Then everything else will fall into place. And Jonathan Wesley is nodding, so I'm apparently getting your approval.
Yes, actually, one of the things that my grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, aunts, uncles, cousins, and have always said to me is, you need to write down what your goals are.
Yes.
Set into place what your goals are. You never put them on a piece of paper. You don't have to share it with anybody, but write it down for yourself. If you never do that, you'll never actually keep track of them. You'll never know where you actually were supposed to be. A lot of people look at it and they go, well, so what am I supposed to write down there on here? 5 years from now, I want to be a multi-millionaire? Well, that's really what you want to do? Yeah.
Well, you got to get out there and start making it happen. Exactly. A lot of it starts right in your own mindset.
And this all ties together before about the personal baggage that people carry with them. The greatest enemy a person can ever have is themselves. You will always put in front of you any obstacle that you've always wanted to have in front of you because you feel like you're not worthy of doing something. If it's been put in your head to do something, do it.
And you know, thinking of you, your early beginnings were really so, what would you use as a word? Devastating in many ways.
Tumultuous? I like
that. Yeah, very much so, that a lot of cynical people would consider you to have no potential. You'd be sitting, buying drugs, sitting in a bar, trying to collect welfare or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. But you instead, you have felt your own potential. And now you are one of the most celebrated chefs on the East Coast, embarking on a whole huge endeavor for yourself. These people are going to hear about you.
He is very dapperly dressed, I'll have you know, audience. You don't even know how handsome this gentleman is over here with his dapper dressing and his charm and wit over here.
And ladies, he is going to land him. You're going to land the big fish, a real catch.
Yes.
So let's talk about her now. I think really her cards are saying start at the beginning. Figure out where you are going. The right partner will come along and fit into your life. You don't have to go out and hunt them down like deer. You don't have to go shop them all. Manifest who you want. See their qualities. Imagine how you would like them to kind of look and act and think.
Fantastic eyebrows.
That's for you?
Yes, yeah. I like a nice set of eyebrows.
That must be the hairdresser in her.
Oh.
So for her, though, I think a lot of this is that she listens too much to other people, and you feel, I get a sense of her being lost, that she needs to find herself. Once you work on you, and believe me, he's out there working on himself, when the time is right, you will be brought together on your path. And this is when your paths will intersect, and boom, you will know, and you will know that this is the one for you. So yes, as far as a move, of course you could move. That you have so much possibility and so much ability to make your own dreams come true. Let me tell you this. I am sitting in the middle of my dream. If I can sit in my dream, you can sit in yours.
Absolutely.
And the cards are saying, my dear, the sky is the limit for you. Don't just reach for the moon, reach beyond, head out into the galaxies, dream your big dreams. It'd be amazing how easy they are to achieve.
And just like our dapper gentleman was saying, the simple fact is when you really want something, when you really want to go for it, and you plan your life and you make the move and you move somewhere else and you go after your goals, that's when you really find someone, when you find yourself.
Hold that thought. We're going to pause for a station ID right now.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
Well, here we are. We're back. Now remember, call in for a reading. The number is 909-792-5222. We want to hear from you. All right, Josh is pointing. He's saying we have business on Facebook Live.
Another wonderful questionnaire from somebody on Facebook Live. So we have Sage, and she's asking if the relation she's in now is something temporary or something that is very good for her. And what she's really curious about is can she really trust him and let her guard down to let this be something permanent?
Awesome question. These cards will not lie when it comes to the true intentions, the true agendas of those in our lives. So what we're going to do now is we are going to like open a zipper on the top of his head and we're going to look inside.
Trust no one. Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I guess we'll wait for the cards. It'll be okay. But I don't know.
And by the way, if any of you are interested, I am using a full 24 card layout for each of your readings. I am not doing a 1, 2, or 3 card draw. Others may do that for, to speed things along. I would rather see the whole playing field.
Yes.
I want to get a really good, like, snapshot of your life. So because one area of our lives impacts another.
Absolutely.
If you think about it. So I just need a moment here.
Do you ever get a feeling as you're laying out the cards, kind of if it's going to be in a positive direction? Like, do you sense things that as you're laying them out?
I do. But a lot of times I can be misdirected, too, by a preconceived idea.
Okay.
Let's say you're a woman involved with a married man or vice versa, man with a woman. You come to me, I have to do my best to push my own subjective feelings aside. I can't bring into your reading, this is wrong. A lot of readers will say, oh, you're doing such a bad thing with your life. I don't do that because I feel life is all about experience. And that experience is pure. It's neither good nor bad or positive or negative. It's what you decide that it's going to be. So now looking at these cards, oh, she loves him so much. I really feel that you are going to learn a lot from this relationship. Can you trust him? I think that you should keep your little antenna out just to, what's a good word?
Calm your own nerves.
Yes, and
use your discernment.
Yeah, and your gut made you ask this question. And while I love doing really positive readings, yours is borderline because I have a feeling she forgives or overlooks or adjusts to a lot. Because I see a lot of hidden anger or deeply seated anger inside of her. I'm not really sure, hon, that this relationship serves you the way that it should. Now, just because we decide to say to somebody, I'm sorry, I'm not getting the right feelings here, I think we need to go our separate ways, that doesn't mean he won't go off, miss you terribly, and decide he wants to come back and be a better man. I have seen this happen so many times. I think this is a guy that needs to experience life without her, where he's going to find out, wow, I really had something with her. She was my one and only. And then you start getting the man that you wanted all along. So I'm not seeing that he has breached this relationship or done something to be less than trustworthy, but I don't feel that you feel secure. And that's really important. Otherwise, you know what happens? You end up marrying somebody and policing them for years. Getting in their phones. Oh, who's got... No. I mean, you can't live your life that way. You're in the prison. If you're policing somebody to that extent, you're the one that's in a cage. You need somebody that you know, hey, you can be your own individual. Have friends of the opposite sex. Why? Because I trust you. And that's everything. That's the true foundation of it all. So I want her to give some time to thinking about, is this truly going to keep her happy? Or if she maybe needs to open herself to new potential in the future. Because, hon, you got men all around you. There are so many. I mean, they're like stacked up like planes over Los Angeles. So,
watch out for them.
Well, they're all in a very nice holding pattern.
Oh, good.
So
I like nice holding
take
patterns.
care and please call again or call. Actually, those who call, you get a better reading because we're not just pulling things out of thin air. All right. All right. What's our number again?
Our number is 909-792-5222.
All righty. What do you got for us, Josh?
Well, as we're all having drinks, I heard there's a certain beer that everybody would like to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Well, that goes to the stories. Every week we try to bring in a feature that we like, where we call it Stories That Broke the Internet. These are a few little tidbits that we picked up from this particular week. We're going to start out kind of, what would you call it, in the slow lane? Kind of, we're getting to the land of unicorns and rainbows, all right? Dallas, dad bods, and dogs. Have you heard about this? There is a calendar for 2019 that is being put together, created with all sorts of lovely, heartwarming pictures of dad bods and dogs by photographer Ricky Beeson. She is putting together using pooches from 3 animal rescues in the Dallas area. The proceeds will go to the rescue organizations. Now, I've seen some of the pictures. They're absolutely adorable. But what is a dad bod?
A dad bod is really a beer bod, and it wasn't procured through childbirthing, children.
Well, she likes to call it this. Ricky Beeson is her name. She likes to consider it men who are great average guys that have some good-looking bodies. And I'll tell you, some of them are really hot.
So these are attractive dad bods. It's like a Brad Pitt bod.
Well,
dad
some.
bod. All right. I'm not sure what's going on here.
But the dogs were especially cute.
The dogs were cute.
And the tats on some of these men are pretty cute, too. I think it's going to be a really excellent calendar when it finally hits the market.
I like dad jokes and dad personalities. Do they come with dad jokes? It's
puns? Very lighthearted, and I'd like to know your opinion, sir.
Well, I'd like to say I'm really good with the puns here. I do them all the time there, I ham it up when I can.
Dapper and with puns.
Right? I got a dad bod, I think. I'd say so, I got a little bit of extra tires around the waist. Not just one, but 4.
Children see you as a walking, talking jungle gym.
And I'd say it's about time we get representation out there for the dad bod.
But here's my thing, okay? Why is the dad bod I have a mom bod, okay? Nobody jovially goes I really want to go hang out with someone with a mom bod.
She's right.
It's not seen in the same light.
Is Hooters going to hire you?
Yeah, they're not going to be oh my, did you want to purchase that witty calendar with the mom bods? No, they'd be
in the mom jeans?
Yes.
I would.
Yes.
I would, definitely.
Here's the thing, is women in recent years have been taught to celebrate their own beauty regardless of standards, regardless of what the media tells them. Men really don't hear that as often. We have the Rambo figure. We have our culture, which is all about being the manliest man that can possibly man. And that is kind of what dad bod culture is. It's a notion that we can be people who enjoy life, who can not be so single-mindedly focused on our testosterone and still celebrate ourselves.
But I feel like women, we've always not been as shallow as men. I've always, I liked Seth Rogen before it was a thing, and, I've had crushes. One of my boyfriends in high school, I used to call him Pooh Bear because he was, adorable. He was pleasantly plump, and he was handsome, but I wasn't oh, I'm not going to date you now. If I was, probably not cute, he wouldn't have dated me. He had lots of attractive girls that wanted to date him.
There's a lot of pressure on us women
to
be the stereotypical skinny mini bag of bones, hardly wearing clothes. They want us to you guys want us all to walk around looking like hookers.
We're going to settle this. Deb, we're making a calendar. And if it doesn't sell out as equally as this dad bod calendar, then I am just going to blow the whistle on the whole operation.
Well, then, ladies, you need to get in touch if you want to be in the mom bod calendar.
Mom bods and cats.
There you go. A little bit of kitty cat to go around for everybody. And on that note, I think we should take a call.
Jesus, we've got Donna from North Carolina.
Poor Donna stepping into this briar patch. Hi, Donna.
I'm enjoying every minute of listening.
How are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I think we're doing Pretty well. We are having a very good time here, and we're so glad you called us.
What is your call regarding? And how do you feel about dad bods?
And I talked a lot about a move, and it was all validated. And I'm trying to recreate myself, and therefore I'm casting a lot of nets and seeing what sticks. And so far, I haven't had many open doors. So I guess my question is do you see a particular field or area that I should be more focused on? Because I really want to be able to make a difference.
Wow. Wow, good for you. I honor you for that. Too many of us just stay with the old routine, the tried and true, and then end up we're 85 years old wondering where our lives went. So this is a good way to ensure that you aren't... I'm sorry?
The entire time I've been on hold, there's been a robin sitting outside my window and looking right in at me like to
Oh
tell
boy,
me
you're
something.
fading in and out pretty bad. You don't have us on speaker, do you?
I'll take you off the speaker. Is that better?
Oh, yes. Awesome.
Okay.
Yes. So if you could just repeat what you just said, that would really help.
I said the entire time that I have been on hold waiting to speak with you, listening to your fun conversations, there's been a robin sitting right outside my window staring in like he's trying to tell me something. It's very interesting.
Did you say a robin?
Or a dad bod.
Or a robber. We're not sure.
A robin redbreast.
Did you say robin?
Oh, God, I don't know.
I'm hoping it's a dad bod is staring at you through the window. But hold on. All right, let's try one more time. What is staring at you through the window?
A robin. The bird, a robin.
Okay.
And birds,
all right, that settles it.
Birds are considered messengers of God.
Yes.
So I would say that bird is sending you a message, and I get the feeling it's about this reading. So we're going to see what we get.
Robin is good too. A dad bod is also good. So, how do you feel about? Will you be purchasing the dad bod dog calendar for 2019?
I came into the conversation a little late, so I really don't know what that is.
Oh, she came in late. That's
all
right.
There are apparently very attractive men who are wielding their father-like figures around with dogs. I guess. I don't know how that sounds.
Yes.
They're dogs from 3 shelters in Dallas, Texas. And they're going to be marketing this calendar that will benefit these rescue operations. And the pictures are absolutely adorable. Some of the men are really hot. But the majority are just your average Joe. So, and speaking of which, I want to ask you something. Is there something near and dear to your heart, Donna, that you consider possibly a calling or a mission on your life that has brought you to this place where you are literally recreating your life?
I've always felt I had a greater purpose, and I've had many, many people share with me they get that same feeling. I just have never been able to put my finger on exactly what it is. Now, I do have a dog that's near and dear to me, and we do a lot of therapy work. We go to nursing homes. We work with autistic children. He's a blood donor at the North Carolina State Vet School. And I've watched many a mom shed a tear because their child came up and hugged him, and it's the first time their child ever touched a dog. Unfortunately, therapy work is all volunteer. And there's no way that I can monetize it. And as much as I would love to do that type of work and be a volunteer, I have to have an income.
Yeah, you do. You have to get the bills paid. And I think that people who would engage your services would understand that. I actually feel there is no roadblock. And the reason I asked you is because I see so many children around you in your reading. I'm also seeing like damaged they strike me as men, like, say, maybe soldiers returning from the war. But you have such a gift when it comes to trauma. I'm hearing trauma big time. And it's not just physical, but emotional and mental. You know, those that face disability that is so, catastrophic, that all they can think about is how to, end their lives. But I really feel what you should do, consider there are many, many courses available online that are not expensive. Many are free. There's a website called Udemy.com. These courses are very reasonably priced, and you can become certified through many of them. Also, where I work at the Healing Fountain in Virginia Beach, the woman that owns the business, she actually teaches and certifies and credentials people to become they become power life coaches, where you can get your own credentialing, looking around, seeing what's available. But I really do see a business here, and it's a helping hand type of business where you could get other organizations and she could get businesses that would piggyback with her. That one hand washes the other, one cause promotes another. And she could set herself up with possibly like a nonprofit organization, but you would be paid through as the founding member of the organization. But I honestly feel there is huge potential for this. You just need to get out of your own way.
I think that'd be fantastic.
I mean,
how do you feel about her suggestion?
What do you think, Donna?
Well, I do love to help people, and I'm the one out of all my friends that everyone comes to when they want to have a problem or want, So, I guess of course the fear is starting a business without having any cushion to begin with.
I've got to tell you, I started mine as a grassroots thing. All I had was a website and a domain, which is very easy to pay for. But when you are doing good work and you do a lot of it that is out there for the community, as in free, as volunteer, to help you establish yourself, and then you can go toward a more commercial. Actually, I see you ending up being the founding member, the president, or the person in charge, and having others that would work underneath you, where you would partner with others. I really feel it's something that you should put to the higher power, ask for guidance, and then watch and see what happens. When we have the right idea, when we're going in the right direction, doors fly open. If you have to stand there and pound on a door, it's the wrong door.
Absolutely.
That's the hardest thing, is for us to make that decision and walk away and, let ourselves be led in another direction. Put that love you have, Donna, out there. Put that commitment. You have very blessed energy. So we had a woman call at the start of the show, Stacy, who was going back to her roots in terms of attending church and exploring her religious side. You, I feel, already have so much. It's just a matter now of allowing yourself to turn it into a viable way of life for you, that you can sustain yourself. And then through that, you will gain quite a bit of followers. I mean, I see all sorts of organizations wanted to lift her up and help, give her referrals, recommend clientele. I just think it's an awesome endeavor that you have. So, Donna, I hope that you will keep us posted on this. Just as they so often say, give it to God and then see what happens. I really think you're going to have a burst of inspiration, and you are going to know the direction that you're meant to take with this work. And it is really incredible work. And I feel very honored that you call us. I feel like we are in the presence of greatness, and I don't often say that. So blessings to you, Donna, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye now. Veronica. Did you have something?
I was going to tell Donna that if she's still listening, robins they are the bringer of good luck.
Robins.
And they also are a spirit animal that plant new seeds and be passionate. It's also a celebration of your own beautiful song.
Well, look at that.
I like it.
Thank you so much for looking that up. Donna, I hope you got that. I hope you're still with us. That was really meaningful about the robin staring at you, and I'm glad it wasn't a robber or a what was it, a dad bod outside your... Yeah, that would be something to call 911 for, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So thank you very much. So we didn't finish our stories that broke the internet. I think we should move on to number 2. Now, a lot of you have heard this story, but it cannot be said enough. People, do not wash out those condoms. The CDC is putting out messages saying, people, we know you want to be green and you're trying to save money, but you don't wash out a condom. Throw it away. It's a one-time Charlie, you know?
One-time use only.
Yes. And don't double up. Some people think, well, if I put 2 on, that's even better protection. No, they rub. And then they tear and they break. And then all sorts of disastrous things can happen. So
I just feel like just use them in the manner that their directions. Just follow the directions. It tells you to dispose them. No rinse, recycling, and reusing. I just think
the men here are cringing.
The ladies, everyone is cringing. If you are doing this, I'm sorry to offend you.
Thank you that you're using them.
You
do not use them twice.
You're disgusting. Is what
use them correctly.
What if you're in this beautiful, intimate moment, and the wonderful gentleman you're with opens the dresser drawer and pulls out one that is clearly
in a baggie.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I was picturing somebody having them like little hooks on their door, and then just having them like airing out, or like on their clothesline.
Yeah, clothesline with little.
It's awful.
That would really creep me out if the neighbor is hanging out his used condoms. Yeah.
Are they hand wash only, or people put them in the dishwasher? What is the thing?
Jonathan, don't be silly, okay?
No, you're saying
obviously
you can't wash them with my
use like the baby bottle scrubber inside there, and I don't understand.
Dry clean only.
Dry clean only.
The one thing Veronica brought up is that is going to destroy whatever spermicide was in there.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to have that protection. You're probably going to cause little holes, and the next thing is you're going to hear the pitter patter of little feet. So
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I feel like these individuals wouldn't be using the condoms appropriately anyway, so...
One and done. Just remember that. That's our public service announcement.
That means something else, too, I think.
And now we're going to take you to the... I'm telling you, this is the pinnacle of internet stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Boy, here we go. Well, guess what? There's the first vagina beer in the world coming out of Warsaw, Poland. Can you even possibly wrap your head around this?
No.
But they are marketing it. They are using, okay, let's all be very clinical and very adult about this. They are collecting the vaginal lactic acid from hot models in Europe. And then they're marketing this beer. Well, they're somehow fermenting or whatever it is they would do. And then they put the model on the bottle dressed in lingerie, and they describe her personality and how the essence of Paulina or Katerina or whoever it is in the bottle. Now, come on, guys. Aren't we getting a little off the grid here?
Well, from a food science standpoint, I like to say, wow, that's ingenious. Because it's not the first time that we've been using human
secretions
of specimens. In the essence. I will use essence. Thank you, Veronica. Can I call you Ronnie? I'll call you Ronnie.
Yes.
From here on, okay.
No, and I agree with you. In Australia, many women collect their menstrual, fluids,
Yeah.
and they put them in the garden.
Right.
Because it really is mineral rich and
Well, I have heard of afterbirth placenta being a great and amazing thing for yourself, but this is a
What, to
completely
eat?
You ingest it to help heal yourself after giving birth. But this is a completely different situation.
Yeah, but from a food science standpoint, they had to do some research here.
This is men, bottom line, wanting to get off over a bottle of beer.
I don't classify them in that.
I mean, just because we say we want to make a perfume out of whatever, or if we could bottle up that energy, or we could bottle up
Like
that,
semen,
doesn't mean
let's
it
make
should
a
be
semen
bottled.
perfume.
They
Full
actually
testosterone.
actually have been making facial masks out of semen.
And it does work for some.
Well, why?
It depends on what you're eating.
Why not just go right to the
not.
source? You don't have to go through the middleman.
Just spray it on. Spray it on.
Okay, I think we're gonna just sidestep that one right
All
there.
I
If
didn't
it
get.
helps with anti-aging, I'll drink it.
You're gonna drink the vagina beer.
If it gives me like a youth serum or a fountain of youth, sure.
It's called. It is. The brewery's name is the Order of Yanni. And now, as we get ready to close out our show, Lauren, you've got to tell the story. You told us about the Yanni.
Oh, I had a guy talk to me one day, and he was what?
But first, everybody needs to know that the actual definition of Yanni is Sanskrit for female genitalia.
Yeah, I just had somebody talk to me one day, and they were very polite and very professional, telling me about all the things that they do. They like going hiking, you know, and they also told me that they were like well versed in yoni massage, and I was like, good for you,
Did
sir.
you think it was like your psyche
I
or your
didn't,
aura?
something like that, and then I went home and I was like, I don't know what he said to me. So I Googled it, and lo and behold, means vagina massage. So I was like, that was, I don't know why, I was very encouraging.
That
of
was
him at
very
the moment.
clever.
It would have been if I knew what he was talking about, possibly, potentially, but I did not.
Well, there you
And-
go. Everybody watch out for the Yanni massage. Unless it's something you already have a lot of information about. Otherwise, Google. Everything can be Googled.
No casual yoni massages, okay? There has to be a lot of dinners first, some witty conversation.
And no wash and dry condoms involved.
So I guess the culmination of everything is be careful for vaginal yeast beer, dad bods and dogs in a calendar, and reusable condoms.
Right.
Yes,
no,
that's
somebody's
pretty
going to invent one. You watch.
I put it up there.
It's out there,
I want
and
my credit.
we will hear
Oh,
about
geez Louise.
the wash and wear
Put it in a little container.
reusable condom.
Put it in the dishwasher.
Maybe it'll have a little washing machine.
Yeah, look.
Free,
Yeah.
silicone grade.
Look
Well,
at
Like
that.
a memory foam mattress.
Everybody,
It contours to the inside and the outside.
thanks everybody so much. We're getting really short here. I want to say I love the calls we had tonight. Those of us who joined us over Facebook Live. Don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Call us next time. We also want to mention that if it wasn't for all of you, we really wouldn't have a show. So thank you. We hope we entertained you. I want to thank Jonathan Wesley,
Yes.
celebrated chef on the East Coast. We have
Thank
Veronica
you.
over here. She does amazing things with stones and gems and essential oils. Really awesome work. And I've got, of course, my girl, Lauren.
Hey.
She's my go-to. And with that, can't forget Josh. He's the techie guy. You ought to see him. We had
Yes.
some really hot guys here tonight. Single ladies, want to meet them? Let us know. So on that, we want to say we're getting ready to shut the lights off and close the door. I'd like to leave you with the words of my grandmother, who I just know that she is pleased and delighted that she passed this method on to me, which is the name of my book, incidentally, called The Message. I do teach this method. I would be happy to credential anybody. I am the only living subject matter expert for the personal prophecy method.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3